Thanks for being here.
I'm so glad to be here.
You look fantastic. Happy holidays.
You too.
You look great. You got your, that's a nice T-shirt you have there.
Thanks.
Debbie Gibson T-shirt. What does it signify for you?
It's my first concert. 8 years old. My mom took me.
Mine too. I was 28, but I was, yay, there she is. I think I saw you there, and you called the cops. That's great. So you wear that now. You still listen to Debbie Gibson or no? Not really. It's just fun to remember.
I mean, I remember fondly.
Yeah, it's nice to go back to your childhood. Let me ask you about your hair. Your hair is quite different.
Yes, I cut it off, and it's become everyone's favorite topic of conversation.
You know what's weird is that it actually showed up in the news. There was a news story that you had cut your hair. That's when you know you've made it. You know what I mean?
So.
Is when they write about that.
It's a good, like, diversionary tactic for, you know, pre-movie coming out. They don't ask you about the movie. They're like, so what's the deal with the hair? And
right. No, but it's good. It means people care about you.
Story or interesting.
It means that they're invested in you as a person. They want to know. I think if a ferret jumped out of my hair, nothing. You'd never hear about it. Well, I'm working on it. It's a hard trick. The ferret won't sit still. I want to ask you, of course, there's a lot to talk about here, but I want to ask about the Star Wars movies. The fans, Star Wars fans, are famous for being very serious about the movie and the mythology. They must go insane when they see you in person.
They've been really cool with me. People are really nice, and I think people usually don't recognize me because I'm little. You know, like if you're like Uma Thurman and you're tall and blonde and, you know, you walk into a room and everyone looks at you anyway, but I'm like little, I can sort of maneuver, you know.
Do you disguise yourself? Do you put on glasses or anything like that? No?
Not so much.
Do you wear a hat that says, I am Natalie Portman, ever?
Sometimes.
Because I wear that hat sometimes and I just get a lot of weird looks. Do you, you know, it is true, I think height has a lot to do with it. I look smaller on TV, but in person I'm well over 9 feet high. And, but people just are always like, who's that freak? And then they, oh, I see, it's...
People, the first thing they always say to me, they're like, you're so much shorter in person. That's like the first thing they say to me. I'm like, that's really nice, really friendly.
Yeah. I get, what's that smell? A lot. Now, do you think you'll ever go to a Star Wars convention? Because if you went to a Star Wars convention, I think those people would lose their minds.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't so far, but I mean, in need of cash one day, maybe I'll go make free money.
I don't think that's gonna. No. They were just like,
now
no, that's.
Everyone's like, boo! You suck.
Yeah. Nerds everywhere are watching. No.
Nice to be,
yes, they're nice. Who do you think would win in a fight, a Star Wars fan or a Lord of the Rings fan? Have they ever fought? Has there ever been? Aren't you curious? I've heard they roam like gangs, and that they the Force be with you. No, Frodo lives, and then they fight. I've heard that. I don't know if that's true. But what do I know? This interview will get less stupid soon. I promise you. You're like, come on, go for it. I am very excited about this movie, Cold Mountain, because a few years ago, I'm a Civil War buff. I read the novel, loved it. It's one of my favorite books of the last couple of years, and I thought, this is great. I hope they turn this into a movie. They have, but they shot it in an interesting place. It all takes place...
Wait, you're a Civil War buff? Can we, like, rewind?
Yeah.
That's, like, not much cooler than, like, Lord of the Rings.
I can't go on. I think... Could you finish the show out for me? If you show that in slow motion, you'll see my spirit leave my body and ascend to the heavens. Trust me, no one is more aware of that than I. Look at those nerds over there. Civil War reenactment. Trust me, I like you actually stop the interview to back it up, to slam me real hard.
Like it's no big deal after
those
like
nerds.
Totally making fun of people for liking some cool movies.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly. Who am I to make fun of them?
Really?
Exactly. I'm glad we worked this out. I'm like, yeah, those guys are such nerds. I collect butterflies myself. but really cool butterflies. But I seriously am really excited about Cold Mountain, and because I love the book so much, and you've got this great cast. You did not shoot. I just assumed this will be shot in the American South, but it was shot
in Romania, which is actually supposedly closer to Civil War time, North Carolina, the mountains, and all that. And it was beautiful. There's like land that had never been plowed and stuff, but it was Dracula County.
Really? Like it was near Transylvania?
It was like right next to Vlad Tepes Castle, which is,
Because Dracula was a real guy, Vlad the Impaler, I guess, and he...
apparently not, in fact, a bloodsucker.
No, that was a terrible rumor that his publicist wishes to clear up. I think he didn't...
Unfortunately, persist.
Yeah, he got a bad rap that he bit people in the neck and sucked the blood out. Instead, I think he impaled them on stakes. Which is more politically correct. But do they make a big deal of Dracula in Transylvania?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big marketing tool. It's all over the place.
That is so weird, because you'd think it would be this romantic lost world, and then...
It is in some ways, but then, we drove by this... They had this, like, this strip club. I say we drove by. We went in.
Wow. There's that.
And then the strippers.
I always, I say drive by a lot too.
But it was called Dracula Erotica. We're like, this is gonna be weird.
Yeah. And were they like dressed as Dracula?
No,
when they were...
it was a big disappointment. It was actually sort of sad. I mean, it's like Eastern European.
Right.
Not so fun. Or funny. But I mean, we were obviously expecting some weird, freaky,
Right. Is there stuff like a Dracula burger and things like that where, it's...
It's not quite that developed. I mean, it's still sort of like, people going to work on, like, horses and donkeys and, tilling their soil or whatever.
I'm curious, if you're living in Transylvania and it's like Halloween, does everyone just like dress up as Dracula and go, I mean, you're sort of like, it's obvious, you kind of have to do it, but if you do it, you're a jerk. Do you know what I mean?
Funny you should ask that, Conan.
Thank you. It said on my card, ask about Halloween.
I was there on Halloween.
No, really? You were? I didn't know that. Scratch out.
My first day shooting was Halloween, so I came to work thinking, we are in Transylvania, it's Halloween. Why not dress up? Came to work as Dorothy, and everyone looked at me like I was crazy.
Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, really?
Yeah.
That's such a...
And no one else was dressed up. I guess it's because it's sort of a European cast. They must not make a big deal out of Halloween, but
right.
We do.
Yeah, but when you're the only person in a Halloween costume, trust me, I've done that myself, where I show up and I'm dressed as like my favorite Civil War general, and no one else. Well, we have a clip here from the movie. I want to make sure that we set this up appropriately.
Well, it's really funny, because it's about war and people losing their loved ones. It's actually, it's a really beautiful film. And this scene, I'm a widow, a Civil War widow, and I have a baby, and Jude Law's character is walking back to his love, Nicole Kidman, and he needs a place to stay for the night.
It's pretty much his odyssey trying to get, he's a deserter, he's trying to get from the battlefield back home. It is a beautiful story. And let's take a look at this clip from Cold Mountain.
Thank you, kid. Lie here next to me. Not need to go further.
I'll go, Shella.
No. I don't want you to.
I think it's amazing how people had that sense of propriety back then. Do you know what I mean? Doing that is like a huge...
Yeah. There's actually... The love scene between Jude and Nicole is sort of... There's a moment in there where they're like, don't look or whatever, which is so funny right before you're about to make
Right, but it's true to the times, which is people were not... They were, very repressed and didn't, actually they weren't that forward with their emotions. So something like that has more power.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm really looking forward to this. Cold Mountain opens Christmas Day. It was great having you here. Thanks so much. Really nice to have you. Natalie Portman. We'll be right back. Bill O'Reilly's here. Stick around.